Welcome to the Honest Art Podcast. I'm your host, Jody King. As an artist for 20 years, instructor, speaker, author, and fellow rebel, I've worked with thousands of people around the world, from beginners to established artists, helping them create their strongest art and build a career doing what they love. So if you are ready to have a little fun while you learn about art, creativity, building a thriving art business, and living a bold, audacious life, you are in the right place. Also, if you're considering going pro in your art business, grab the PDF in the show notes on the 5 things they don't teach you in art school. All right, let's get messy. Welcome back. This podcast is going to be a little different than any of the others that I have done previously. And that's because, usually I am I don't know, either I have a guest or I'm teaching a concept or something like that. But this time I wanted it to be a little more personal. And so what I'm doing is I'm pulling back the curtain and letting you in on my private coaching program called Studio Elite. And I just want to say a huge shout out to the artists in the program because, obviously this is an intimate group. It's meant to be intimate intentionally because the truth is that our businesses, whether it's an art business or whatever it might be, our business is always a reflection of who we are personally. And so, we get personal in Studio Elite, and I'm just really grateful to the artists for allowing us in for this group coaching and just talking about their experience. So big shout out to those guys. They're amazing. But there's a few other reasons that I wanted to share this episode with you, and one of them is really personal. For me in my own experience as an artist. And the thing is, I have paid for 2 what I would consider elite coaching programs in my time as an artist. One was probably, I don't know, 8 years ago or so. And the other one was in 2019. And I can say with 100,000,000% certainty that the coaching that I received is the reason that my business catapulted. And I'm so grateful for the mentoring that I received. And I think that's why it's so personal for me to be able to be that sort of mentor to others, because, paying for these programs, well, the 2 times I did it, honestly, I wanted to throw up because of the cost of the program. But paying for these programs is a big deal, right? But the thing is that I was always like, well, I'm paying for these programs, paying these people. No, what I was doing is I was investing in myself. It was kind of like, if you've ever done something like this, whether you went on a workshop or you did your own coaching, whatever it is, it's like you put a stake in the ground. It's like, no, this is mine. This is my journey. This is my life. And by like throwing that stake in the ground and saying, I'm doing this, it's almost like the universe rises to meet you. So it's beautiful. But the other reason I wanted to do this is because it's almost like there's this, veil or this kind of secret something that it's like nobody quite knows what goes on in these kind of programs. So I know that people are reluctant to do these sort of things because, like, well, I don't know exactly what this type of elite coaching is going to do, or even what kind of transformation to expect. So I thought that was another cool reason to be able to offer this, because I certainly know I've never heard of anybody doing this before, because I don't know, maybe they just they didn't feel comfortable doing. But I'm really, again, I'm so grateful to the artists to allow this to happen. So that's what we're doing. And again, what you're going to do is you're going to hear from these artists the big transformations that they've received. And this is a 6-month program, by the way. And so to hear their transformations that have happened, even in the 4 months, because we're still in the middle of this right now. The next cohort of Studio Elite is in July. And we're accepting applications for the program now. But to hear what they were saying in just like the transformations they received in these 4 months is just makes my heart so happy for them and to see them thriving in the way they did. So, without further ado, please enjoy this episode of the Honest Art Podcast. And I hope that when you hear these amazing women talking about their journey and their stories, I hope that you will see yourself within them. And whether you decide to apply for Studio Elite or not, I hope what you will see is that, being stuck or staying where we are, or just going, oh, I'll just go this alone. It's just not necessary. It's not necessary to go this alone. Find yourself a community, because I can tell you, we do go farther, faster when we go together. So enjoy this episode. I was just going to ask you guys, now that we have been doing this for 4 months, I can't believe it's interesting, because January feels all at once a very long time ago, and yet it's only been 4 months. So it's really interesting. But to see such profound change, like we were just talking about with your art, Tiffany, and with you personally, to see such profound change, it's really exciting. And I hope you can see it for yourself as well. I know I was speaking with Jenny yesterday, and she was feeling a little bit in a funk. And then she was reminded of all the cool stuff that she's done just in such a short amount of time. So really, I just want to ask you if you feel like there's, before, when you think back before you ever started Studio Elite, how everybody shows up nervous. I show up nervous the first day too. We don't know what to expect. You've made this big investment in yourself. You don't know if you're going to get along with people in the group. You just have no idea what to expect at all. And so were there any surprises? That's something that I think would be interesting to know, and then could be helpful for people, if they are considering it, if there's a surprise that, maybe it'll help them make a decision not to participate in the program because they think it's one thing and not another. And if you feel like, I know we still have 2 months left, but if you feel like there's been specific benefits so far, if you want to share that would be great. And we're just going to have a conversation about it. And if anyone wants to just jump in and go first, well, let's start with if there was any surprises. Have there been, surprise may not be the right word, but maybe, go ahead, Yvette.
Yeah. Well, for me, because I had no idea what to expect. So there was no expectations, but I was very curious. Of course, I would, I would be happy to have anything from you, but I didn't have an idea what was going to be like. I thought we were just going to be doing business back to back, marketing emails, whatever, painting. But I didn't have an idea it was going to be about personal growth, emotional, as an artist. I was in a very difficult time when I joined, midlife crisis, you call it, or empty nest, or, I was crying when I was filling the form, and I was saying, okay, if she's not going to take me, but let me try. So for me I had no idea what to expect, but it was such a surprise to be part of this group and to be so intimate. That's the word for me. If I had to describe it, it's very, very intimate.
Yeah.
And everybody is so cool, not only me.
Wait, you forgot sexy.
You know.
Where, where is Giselle? Wish she was here
Yeah.
on the call with us.
Yeah. And it's no, it was amazing experience. I had an amazing time in Austin. So and Jody, thank you for all the inspiration and the love and care you put into us.
Oh,
And everybody's
it's
been so supportive, so different in their own way. I mean, that's what I'm so surprised. Everybody's so different from each other, and it's
mhm.
just melting into this one whole thing. Maybe because
Yes.
everybody is so completely different. We're kind of, there is a place for everybody to fit in.
I love that. Yeah. And the intimacy is really an important component to the program. It's why I don't have a rolling admission, for people to come in and out and, at different phases of their journey, because I think it is important for us to start together and to see each other evolve. And then with our stories that inevitably come up, to feel comfortable and safe to be able to share those stories, because all of that contributes to our art. I mean, it all contributes to the wholeness of who we are and what we're going to express. So I appreciate you mentioning that.
Yeah.
And I
So
know, I know one of the things that you mentioned when we first started, I hope it's okay if I say this, we can certainly edit it out, but one of the things that you mentioned that was that you were really having a hard time with the idea of selling your art at all.
oh.
And
Yes, I
I
wanted to
remember,
keep them. I wanted, yeah, I can't believe that what I was saying this. But I was so sure. Yes, I was so convinced that I didn't want to sell my art. And then I felt so bad because okay, then why did you join? But then uh yeah, I really didn't want to separate from them.
yeah.
Oh, that
And
was so funny.
I just remember we were talking early on about what people wanted from the program, or what your goals were, and when you said, well, I don't really want to sell my art, I just thought, well, what the hell am I gonna offer you? Shit, I've really got my work cut out for me here.
Well, I was sure Jody King needs a challenge, even she needs a challenge.
Okay, so now tell people where you are with that idea now.
Oh, I'm very happy to sell them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That makes me so
Thank you.
happy.
Yeah.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else want to share if they had any surprises? Go ahead, Jenny.
Well, similar to Yvette, just not sure. I was thinking again, of course, the business side of art, because I think that's something that we all need, and we certainly get that. But I think the biggest surprise for me was the inner work that we do with the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And before the program, I was working on owning that I am an artist 100%, but I wasn't there. To say that to people out there, there was some hesitation because I didn't fully believe that I was, for whatever reason, past experience and so on. I came from the corporate world, if anyone's listening to this, and making that transition from full-time to full-time artist. And so the surprise for me is the confidence in speaking up as an artist. And my husband said to me, and I was sharing this with you yesterday, Jody, that, we're just going for a nice lunch in a cool little town by the lake in the Okanagan. And I said, well, let's go in the art gallery. And I just start talking to whoever was in there, another artist that was, looking after it that day. And it's just what I do now. I just talk to people about this all the time. And he said, you've really changed. And I go, really? He goes, yeah, you never would have done this 3-4 years ago. You never, wherever we go to restaurants now, I look for opportunities to show my art, but also I like being able to pull in other artists in the region that I'm in and be able to show their art at the same time. So I think one of the big things is the inner growth as a human. To Yvette's, it's more than just the art, it's as a human, but also to be open. And that damn book, The Happy Thing About Money, or what is it called, Jody?
Happy Pocket Full of Money.
Oh, A Happy Pocket Full of Money. If you come to the program, you got to read this book because
Yes,
it is
everyone has to read it.
mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing about how we all are and the beings we are in the universe and the big picture. And what's interesting is if you take it to heart and read it, things show up. It's
Oh my gosh.
absolutely fascinating. So my advice for anyone coming in the program is just be open to the opportunities. And we've had an amazing group. We have an amazing group. When we met at the retreat in person, it was like longtime girlfriends. By the time, the first time we meet in person, it was unbelievable. So the other aspect is the support group that we have. I think it's really important to surround ourselves with people that are like-minded, but very different. We all come from different walks of
Absolutely.
life, and I think we just complement each other because of
Mhm.
that. And I love it. I love the experience, and my hope is that moving forward, we still will be that support group and connected to each other. Like, let's do an annual
I know.
face-to-face or something, right? It's been
Yes,
very
I love
cool.
I love that you say that, and I appreciate how you talk about the shift that happens, because just watching you, Jenny, put together this, back from January where you felt uncomfortable just owning that you are absolutely hell yes artist, to now putting together these collaborations in your area with other artists, and going into this gallery and then having this opportunity like you shared with me yesterday, all of this happening when you're doing it all starts with your own personal shift. So it's been fun. It's been so fun to see that evolve for you.
Yeah, it is, and that is the fun part of it too.
Yeah.
And then when we when you do your one-on-one coaching, Jody's, as you know, everybody does, like, she really listens, and she's almost like the artist whisperer, right? It's like she'll say stuff to us, and I go, oh fuck, okay, oh sorry. But it's like, yeah, but you shifted my energy from being in a funk to actually being in a healthy place and thinking about how I'm moving forward, even when I get stuck in a painting. So
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Those one-on-one calls are great for me as well, because this is, we spend we haven't spent a lot of time in, these 6 months between our Voxer group and the calls and everything. It means a lot for me to get to know you guys, not just to get to coach you, but to get to know you. It means a lot to me.
I wonder sometimes, how much do you have to work and study in order to be able to teach us all this?
21 years.
Yeah, I know. Because you're the marketing guru, the painting guru, then the therapies guru, because that's there as well. It's an amazing package.
Thank you, Yvette. It's interesting that all of the, I think that's one of the benefits of being, I'm not 30, I'm, 56. And so I bring all of this human experience, in addition to, I was in marketing for years, and, of course, all the painting that I've done, but also I've been like you guys, I've been on this spiritual journey trying to figure my own self out for years, and needing to incorporate many different modalities, from therapy to hypnosis to mushrooms to whatever it might be, right, on my own healing journey. And really they just all come together. And what somebody said that one person's shit show will be another one's survival guide. And so I think it's just all of the years of experience that I'm able to offer like-minded people on a journey like you guys are, right? We are all just like-minded women on a beautiful journey together as artists.
But it is
Thank
a
you for saying that.
it's a special mindset because I mean, I've learned this more and more in the group. You know, the artist part of all of us is what connects us. And that's so different really than the regular world. And instead of feeling like ashamed or that's not the right way, or how can you even think that, like these phrases people use when they talk about artists, it is so nice to just put all of that to the side. Like that's not even existing in this group. It is only that we are artists. We love it. It makes us different. We look at things in a different way. And it is nice because it's few and far between really to find that artist soul in people. There's not really that many. And just when I started, I was so frustrated about my life and I'm not doing my art. And I knew I'd come to that point about, I know I need to make a big change. And then it's so weird how I just kind of found you more recently. And I'm like, that Studio Elite thing sounds awesome. And so I know I came focused to be learning more about how do you do an art business? How can you really make it work? Because you, Jody, sound like you have a good experience in really other businesses, which is also unusual, I think, for artists. And so I came in with my purpose to learn and be great and do better. But what was so surprising is it is the things you are not the soft part, like we've said, the growth, the mindset, but really this group has broadened any kind of like personal mindset changes almost into a group experience. Like it just gets so much richer. It is we all have our own thing we want to do, but by talking about it and knowing what what Yvette's thing she wants to do and everyone else, and it just molds into kind of what you want to do too. It's a very interesting, it's almost its own, the group part of this is its own like living, I don't know how to explain it. It broadens experiences for sure.
I agree. It's like this, it becomes its own thing. It's its own entity within it. I know what you're saying, but I also don't have the words for
I
it. I
know,
wish
and
there
it's
was.
I'm learning from everyone. Jody for sure, everyone, but I learn from everyone. I learn new ways to do things from everyone.
Mhm. Yeah,
We-
like
Either art or personality, just your spirit. It just
or bed beer.
bed beer, yeah.
Sorry. For those of you who are listening, we won't elaborate, but it is a thing.
I will. No, I won't.
Apparently, bed beer is a thing. It all can be
Well, and
tequila.
apparently ranch water, is that what it's called?
It
Oh,
could
yeah.
be bed ranch water. That's funny.
And the fact that you can be so vulnerable, it helps us to be true. Even though, I would never allow myself to be. But the fact that you can show so much vulnerability, it really helps us all to share.
Thank you, Yvette. Thank you. It is the
It's a
group,
very
the group dynamic.
Yeah, very safe space.
Yeah,
Mhm.
share.
And that's what was so surprising about it. I didn't come into this expecting this at all. I didn't expect to have all the support and the love and the ideas and the camaraderie, and that's been the best part. It's just, I mean, I've learned so much from everybody, and you especially, Jody, but everybody has taught me something either about myself or about my art. So that's special.
It is because we can talk, and we've learned all about emails, and we've social media, and how to put yourself out there, and how to make better art, and how to apply to different things. That we all of that, we can do all that. But if we are off, out of alignment with ourselves, right? Or discombobulated or some way, kind of way within ourselves, it's going to translate to every bit of it, you know? So you do have to learn, I mean, which we have, we do have to learn all of the business stuff, but isn't it just the greatest thing in the world to be an artist and to be able to, I mean, I don't even have words for it.
Mhm.
To
And
be
to
able to,
share other people as well.
yes, it's just
And
And
it's
the
a very
it's
lonely,
okay.
very lonely job. Very lonely business.
that's a
And
good
it's
point.
okay
Yes.
to create. I mean, it's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, it's like it's important, right? It's more than okay. It's important. The work that we're doing is important. It's important to put our work out there into the world. It's important to make our best art ever. I think it's important. And also it's like Yvette, you said, it's a lonely career choice, right?
Yeah.
So it's especially if you choose it as a career, right? Which we all want to do. We all want to sell more art and to, you know, make a good living doing this. It's lonely. So the more people we can have supporting us, like good luck getting rid of me now.
Good. Did we
Thank
tell
you.
you that we're coming to Italy with you on
Oh
this
my,
trip?
don't even tease me like that. That would be so fun. So very fun. Well, thanks for sharing your experience. I really do appreciate it. It kind of feels a little bit like don't wait until somebody is dead to tell them, you know, to speak well about them, right? Thank you for sharing your experience and for your kindness. If you're ready for profound change in your art and your business, I really encourage you to find a mentor and community of artists to support you. Mentoring artists on their journey is in my Studio Elite program is my personal passion, and it's absolutely my calling. And honestly, it's the best because I get to have front row seats to watch these artists freaking rise. But even if we don't work together, please find someone who believes in your fine self. So if you think it's your time and you'd like for us to work together, applications are now open for Studio Elite, which starts in July. It's literally the perfect time because in 6 months, it will be 2025. So you can be in the same place you are now, or you could slam your stake in the ground now and set yourself on a growth trajectory like no other. Get more information about Studio Elite at the link in the show notes.